Hey everybody, this is Wolfie, and welcome to the Allegheny Trails channel. Tonight we're going to introduce somebody that's going to attempt to do the fastest known time for the Allegheny Trail. I have no clue why he's going to do it and why a crazy person would even attempt such a thing. But with that being said, I'd like to introduce Chef Donnie Orr. Donnie, if you would take a minute and introduce yourself and let us know who you are and why you're such a nutball.
Well, hello. Thanks for having me on. My name is Donnie Orr. I'm a local chef in West Virginia, certified dietary manager, and UESCA certified ultra running coach. I started running when I was a kid with my dad growing up, and back in 2012 when he died, he always told me that I could run a marathon. So I ran a marathon, and then that just kind of snowballed into ultra marathons. And now I've always loved that trail. I've done a lot of hiking, camping, and ever since I got into the distance and kind of knew what FKTs were, I've always kind of had my eye on that mark from back in 2008. And I always thought I could do it. I always thought it would be fun to do a complete trail all the way through the state. And yeah, so here we are, and now stuff's really getting real.
So, what's your experience? I mean, you've done lots of other runs. I was out there creeping on your site.
Yeah. So I got into, like I said, I got into marathon running. I did my first marathon in 2018 in Morgantown, and then someone told me about an ultra at Cooper's Rock, which I'd never even heard about ultras. So looked into that and went and ran 50K at Cooper's Rock, and then someone said that people run 100 miles. So I obviously, started going down the rabbit hole, and then, you know, signed up for my first 100-mile race, Rim to River 100 in 2020, and COVID happened. It ended up being one of the only hundreds that went on that year, and wasn't trained well enough, but I didn't want to be left out in West Virginia's first 100. So I did it. I ended up finishing. It's a really tough race, and this year I ended up finishing my fifth time, and this morning the lottery came out, so a bunch of us are going back. There's a couple people going back for six times next year. I'll be going back for my sixth finish. So that'll probably be the only race I'm going to focus on, the FKT. I did some other big races this year. I did Eastern States, Massanutten, which are long 100 milers that have a lot of gain, just to try to simulate what I'm going to be dealing with out there. It's not going to be anything that I can simulate in training because it's going to be 311 miles in less than 4.5 days. So we'll just kind
And
of do the best we can.
you have what 450,000 feet of elevation gain.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
doesn't
it'll be
include
pretty.
the downs. So.
Yeah, it'll be a lot of up, that's for sure. And the races that I did this year, the three 100s basically equal the amount of distance for the Allegheny Trail and the vert. There was a lot of space in between them, but I think with what I've done this year, with the training that I have, and then the coach that I have going into next year, I'm going to be using Ann Tisdale, who just won the Arizona Monster last year. Uh, so, and I think with her experience, being able to let off the reins as a coach, I've been my own coach ever since I started. So actually being able to just put it in somebody else's hands, just do the work. Same thing out on the trail. I'm going to have crew people out there. I'm going to have pacers and mulers taking the most of my stuff so that I can just eat and run. And I'm just going to listen to what they say. So really
So,
focus on.
what drew you to the Allegheny Trail? Just because you're a local West Virginian, or
Yeah, I mean, I've been out there a lot. It's a magical trail. Like, just the atmosphere out there, and the fact that, like, it's really the only true trail that goes through the heart of Appalachia. Like, we're the state of West Virginia. Like, we're right in it. We're the only state that's completely in Appalachia, and we go, that trail goes right through the heart of it, and there's just something magical about that.
I'd have to agree with you there. I mean, I'm an AT hiker too, and There's something on the Allegheny Trail that just is more magical to me. I'm sure the people that argue with me, but
Yeah, it's beautiful out there, and it's so rugged and so hard, and it just embodies West Virginia and its people.
yeah, it is definitely a backcountry trail in places, quite a few
Yeah,
places.
yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
So speaking of which, I mean, what's your plans for those backcountry areas where trail access is limited?
So we're just going to do the best that we can. I'm going to have a lot of strong runners that are going to, help me, that are going to mule for me, that are going to, carry packs. We're going to hope to set up some spots to where we can get, some groups of runners to run with me through some sections and then, shuttle them back and, just rely on the support of the community that's, in West Virginia, the trail running community. We all help each other out at 100-mile races, and it's just, I think it'll be a lot of fun this year to just kind of shut off my brain for 311 miles and just put my body to work and just let my crew and let my pacers just kind of lead me the way.
Yeah, that's a long way to let your mind go and your body do the work, in my opinion.
Yep.
Yeah, there's some, what is it, Beaver Creek area? That that I mean, I was in a shape hiker at the time, and that wore me out. I can't imagine doing it
Yeah.
running.
Yeah, it'll be tough. It'll be tough for sure, but I don't know. I'll have a lot of good people out there, a lot of good support. Uh, a lot of good. There's a big why behind it. I lost my dad in 2012, my uncle in 2007, so running out there for them and both of their sisters. She'll be the head crew chief, my Aunt Lisa. So it's pretty special to get to run out there for them.
So, I'm not into that as a sport. I mean, I've followed other people that done a FKT attempts on other trails, but you'll be my first on this one. So I really don't know what kind of questions to ask. So you're going to have to lead me here.
Yeah, so I mean, I guess really the focus will be you know the right gear, and mostly I'm not gonna have a ton of stuff that I have to carry nutrition or carry water. I'm gonna hopefully have people out there carrying the majority of that for me, but I'm gonna have to have good shoes, good foot care. I'm gonna have to have I'm probably gonna be use some trekking poles. The trail is gonna be really muddy. I mean, it's typically you know pretty muddy all the time. So and then nutrition. Uh, somebody specifically focused on making sure, I'll get the plan together ahead of time. I have a background in dietary management. I know what works for me. And then just having contingency plans on, if I can eat, if I have, gastrointestinal issues where I, can't hold calories down because the miles don't stop, the clock doesn't stop. So we got to keep moving. We got to work through problems and it's just putting the right people in the right places to solve those problems because I won't be able to do that.
So you must know it. What is the fastest time right now
So it's 4 days, 13 hours and change.
in change?
So, but that was 292 miles. So now it's 311. So the goal is to get at least the 292 within that time so that I can get that FKT and then
And then set
I'll
the new one.
yeah, and then it'll set a new one at 311. I mean, I'd like to get the whole 311 in 4 days and 13 hours, but we'll probably target for 292 in that time and then just see how I feel. And then if I feel like when I get to 292, that's going to give me a huge boost. And then I can probably push out those last 19 miles without any issue. But we'll
Yeah.
see how that goes. I don't know what I'll feel like at that point.
As you hit those trail towns that where the trail actually goes through it,
Hmm.
um, hopefully we can muster you some support as you come through those trails and get your spirits up at places.
Yeah, that would be awesome. That's the one thing I've learned through all of these races. It's a lot of times it's the connection that gets you through the people that you meet, the volunteers out there in these races and just all the human connection.
So, what kind of support are you still looking for? Maybe we can put that word out, and maybe we can get you or try to dig you up that support.
Yeah, so right now I'm going to be looking for, possibly some shuttle help. I'm going to have a head crew person and I'm going to have somebody helping her. So we'll have a van that I'm going to sleep in. Uh, I'm going to try to go from, 5 in the morning till midnight every day and then give me 5 hours to sleep and fuel up. So I'll need, pacers out there that can do long distances, 30, 40-mile stretches. And then like you were saying, just we'll set up some different spots where we can pick up pacers, but anybody that's that's out there, we'll set it'll be mid-May sometime, but we'll set the specific date soon. But anybody that just wants to be out there and just say hey and just cheer us on, I think that'll be huge.
So, where can they follow along with your planning and get in touch with you for that support?
So my Instagram, I'll document a lot of it on there, which is Ultra Chef Donnie Orr. And then I'm gonna get ready to start a YouTube channel the first of the year. So I'll be documenting a lot of the training, you know, a lot of the trail recon. I plan to get out, and do some trail work. And I know there's some events going on in March where they need some people to run some sections and just do some, let them know what trail work needs done. So I plan on, doing a lot of that. So
Doing and use
basically,
that as recon.
yeah, yeah. And then another lady, Becky Walters, around the same time, she is with Death to Tyrants Trail Running, and they do a race at Cooper's Rock, and then they do one down south. It's called the Tatanka 15K. It's the first year this year, and it's going to be on the Allegheny Trail. And she's also doing the female FKT, which I don't think there's one set for fully supported right now. So we're going to probably try to do them around about the same time so that we can, use each other's support. And so that's some more things that'll get announced, probably first of the year once we figure some stuff like that out. So that'll help a lot with, logistics and getting other people involved.
And for those of you watching, I'll put some of the links that he just mentioned in the comments or in the description of the video. So it'll be down there too. So, Donnie, is there anything else you'd like to add?
No, I think just I'm just really looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to connecting with the community, and I think the big thing here is to showcase the trail, to make sure that this puts a focus on not only mental health, which I'm working with some organizations to raise money for that, but I want to raise awareness for the trail. I know that you know nobody's attempted this mark since 2008. My mark is gonna narrowly beat his mark, hopefully. And the goal is to get some of the faster folks, some of the people from out west, some people that wouldn't normally be in West Virginia, here to see how beautiful the state is, how rugged the trails are, what this little East Coast gem has. And I think that's the main goal of this. And then, to just get out there and, suffer and close down the mind and, let my friends, get me to the finish.
Yeah. Well, Donnie, I'm sure you've you've talked to other people in West Virginia Scenic Trails Association, and you know what kind of big supporters we are of anybody who goes out on the trail. So,
Yeah.
if you need anything, you can reach out to us on our Facebook group, and I'm sure you'll get a lot of hands raised, at least pointed in the right direction.
I greatly appreciate it, and I can't wait to get out, the first part of the year and, help getting some things done on the trail, meet some people, and continue that into the following years and see if we can get some of the speedsters out on that trail.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you for joining us, and just hang out for just a second and let me close out this video.
All right. Thanks for having me.
Hey, everybody. Special thanks to Donnie for joining us tonight. And, go out there and show him some love and support. And hopefully we can get him to, you know, become the FTK fastest known time holder for the Allegheny Trail. With that being said, this is Wolfie. Be sure to like, subscribe, put a comment down below. TTFN. Ta-ta for now.